Hey, this is Tina with Tailspin Dog Training, and I thought I would talk today about the place, the wait, and the stay command for your dogs. Uh, these are commands that have a finite time schedule to them, if you want to think of it that way. Something that we definitely want to have a release word for our dogs on. Uh, they're very useful commands. I'm going to talk a little bit about the differences in what my dogs learn from stay, wait, and place. And this is just one dog trainer's opinion. And you can do it however you want. But with my dogs and the way I train my dogs, I think of wait and place as a softer staying command. This is a command where I send them somewhere temporarily unstructured, sort of, if you want to think of it that way. I don't care at place and wait if they are sitting, they are standing, or they are laying down, as long as they're not moving their feet. And wait is my temporary command. It's wait here, we're about to go somewhere else. So I use wait at doors, at the house. We can use them at your kennel doors when you're letting your dog in and out of kennels. And I use them getting in and out of the car. So if I tell you to wait, you're about to be moving really soon, then I'm going to release you to go on. So the dog, I don't really care what the dog is doing as far as their body is. They can be standing, they can, like I said, they can be standing, they can be sitting, and they can be laying down, because we're fixing to move on and do something else. Place can be a little bit of a harder command, and by hard I mean a little more structured, and don't get up until I tell you. Stay in this position. My dogs, I use it to kind of get them out from under my feet. I will send them to place. They're not supposed to be on the leave place until I tell them, but I don't care, like I said, if they're standing, they're sitting, or they're laying down. And a lot of times on place, I'm going to give them something to do. I may give them a Kong. I may give them something to chew on, a deer antler, sterilized beef femur. So I may give them something to occupy them. They may get a Nylabone, something like that, so they can have their toys on place. But I'll release them off of that. And stay is the command I use when I'm showing the dog. I don't show obedience, but it is, you can think of this would be something you do in obedience if you're showing obedience, and rally. And I want that to be a very structured, don't move until I tell you. You have to stay in the position I put you in. You will move off with me when I tell you, or you will come to me when I tell you. And that's the difference in the way I train my dogs. I try not to let my husband use the word stay, because I had these beautiful stays on my dog, and then he was using stay as a wait command. I got in there to mess with my dog and put her in a stay when I was in class one day, and she got up. And I came home and had to evaluate how he spoke to my dog, the language he was using for the dog. So I prefer him to use a wait command versus a stay, as he blows up my stays, as the dog doesn't think she has to stay there until she can just get up and walk off, or she doesn't have to stay in position. So it's very important when you're picking these commands, or if you're using these commands, that you have parameters for any command, really. But like I said, these are my parameters for the commands and the names that I use. Honestly, if you want to teach your dog to stay by using the word Bob, you can do that. That's up to you, just so that you're consistent with the dog and the dog understands what you want from it. And you have used that word from the beginning, and you have taught that word in small increments. A lot of people want the stays, the waits, and the places to go a lot faster than they should go. And we get a little bit of they will get a little bit of success, and they'll start moving the dog off to not just the end of the leash, but they'll try to go across the room and try to impress their friends, and the dog will break the stay, and you can't get them back in position. So I recommend with these commands that you go slower, with more tiny increments that you're proofing along the way, putting in your distractions, and that you gradually make that transition to longer and longer periods of time, longer and longer distances. This is where I see the most success in my training happen. And it seems like you're going really, really slow, but sometimes when you're going slow and you're putting in the time and you're putting in the training and you're putting in the repetitions, you're going to move a lot faster to consistent stays, weights, and places. Very handy commands to have. Wait is one of my most favorite commands with my dogs. It's a safety issue. If your dog is barging through the door, then teach it to wait at the door. If your dog is barging out of the car, teach it to wait out of the car. That is a safety issue. That dog could really hurt itself or really get hurt by traffic. It could get run out into some bad situations with the car. So you want to take the time to teach those things properly. Also, I recommend you stay on leash for a very long time with these things, and that might be moving from your regular walking leash to a long line or a drag line, and something that you're able to control the dog. So that's all I have on that subject today. Thank you.